Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Arrowhead Junction, episode 25, a collaboration project between myself, Strict Toaster, and Fresh Popcorn. Now today's episode I've been waiting for a super long time now. This is going to be the episode where we take what we have, kind of this existing infrastructure, and we really start expanding out and filling out all the neighborhoods, all of the suburbs just outside of the Arrowhead Village area, and then sort of like the project streets and all these like extra neighborhoods that sort of expand out and away from the village and kind of get a little more sparse and spread out as they go, obviously, as you get away from the denser urban sprawl. So lots of expansion today, hopefully a really big population boom, because we've kind of been sitting at a relatively low population for a while now. So this is going to be the real like meat and potatoes of Arrowhead Village. And in the process, we're going to be doing a lot of infrastructure work in terms of adding utilities, in terms of doing some transportation and getting the buses all situated. So lots of really fun stuff that I've been looking forward to doing that we've been kind of putting off as we build up this main part of the village. So the first thing that I want to touch on before we do anything else is that this is actually my last episode for Arrowhead Junction. So I've been doing this project for a while now, and we have been expanding and making, all the different areas of Arrowhead Junction, and we are pretty much coming to the end now of the series. So I'm doing one more episode, this one here, and then Strict Toaster does one more on his channel next Friday, obviously. And then from there, we'll do a sort of like overview episode, kind of like one of those just, review podcast sort of episodes again at the end. That'll be on Strict Toaster's channel. And then you'll see some other videos probably coming up on my channel and his channel, just kind of, showing off Arrowhead Junction and all that good stuff. So, we're pretty much at the end now, which is crazy to think, but we've been working on this for a while now, and I think both of us are also looking forward to new projects and potentially new collaborations, who knows. So we wanted to bring this one to an end, and I think we're in a really good spot to do that. Now, like I said at the beginning of the episode, there were a lot of things that I wanted to do to Arrowhead Village before I thought it was totally done. So that's why this episode, it might be longer than usual. I actually don't really know. I haven't finished recording it yet, but it'll certainly be a lot more work than usual for a normal episode. A lot more expansion, a lot of new stuff added, all that good stuff. So you'll see that today. But anyway, as you can see, we are starting off, like I said, by expanding the neighborhoods. We're putting down some smaller roads along with these bigger grids of roads. So last episode, Strict Toaster made these really awesome apartments, and you might see a glimpse of them here and there as we work on this area, but they look amazing, by the way. Like I didn't get to see his episode until a bit later because I was gone for spring break, but I came back and I watched the episode, and I love the way they look. They're really awesome. So fantastic job on those. And the first thing he said to me when I got the save was he really wanted me to bring out the neighborhoods a little bit more in the opposite grid direction from the sort of existing urban sprawl neighborhoods and all that stuff. So that's what I started with, just like a very basic grid pattern that comes off of the apartments. And then from there, I wanted to get some more interesting road designs, obviously not using the full width roads anymore. We're going down to the smaller, narrower roads. And that'll kind of bring us out and into this like big empty region that is the rest of Arrowhead Junction. So that's why we have all these tiny roads everywhere. But I think this is like the funnest part, honestly, because we've been doing this like kind of grid pattern and very, very planned out stuff all the way up until this point. And I thought once you get past this part, this is when you start getting these like little roads that sort of start winding out and moving their way out into this like desert area. And so from here we've got some more interesting neighborhoods with different patterns and things, and it's all still relatively grid-esque, but there's some interesting little weaving roads that don't necessarily follow straight paths. So that's what's going on here. Now, obviously, as a result of all of this expansion, we're going to have a bit of a RCI deficit in certain areas, particularly in the industry. We have lots of jobs that need to be created now. So I think when we get to the live portion of this, we're going to go back and add in some more industry maybe, or I might just plop some more like Rico buildings that can provide jobs. And then on top of that, some more commercial, obviously, to fill that whole void. But the main thing here is going to be taking this massive shock to our RCI, all of these new residential buildings, and then kind of accounting for it. This is on a much larger scale than the previous episode that I did, where we just added a few new ones around like a shopping center. This is a much, much bigger addition to our population. So we'll have lots of work to do there, but it's not a big deal. And in fact, it's actually kind of fun to do this because I don't really get to do all this infrastructure work all that often. I mean, we spend so much time in these episodes doing detailing and prop placing, and that's always fun. But I want to spend a lot of time in this episode making sure that Arrowhead Junction is totally secure and complete, and it's got all the utilities it needs, it's got all of the services it needs, and all that stuff. So that's what we'll do in the live portion coming up here. And then I think from there, I'd also like to go back and add some fun, details and things, because as we get towards the outskirts, there's not really as many things to add. I think usually there's not a whole lot of stuff going on beyond just like the roads and their housing and whatnot. But there are some areas that I think we could add some fun little stuff. Particularly along the river across from Arrowhead Refinery, and also along the other side of the river across from the, I guess it was the Home Depot that Strict Toaster made, but that whole area over there. So I am going to leave a few little areas blank, particularly across from the Best Western that Strict Toaster made in his last episode. I know he wanted to add a few things here and there in his episode as well, so I'm going to leave him a few things to do. But for the most part, like I said, we're wrapping up with a lot of work on the suburbs and a lot of utility building here and there. So with all that said, there's not much more that I wanted to say about this expansion beyond the fact that we're just adding tons of roads. So I'll leave you with the rest of this time lapse, and then we'll come back. We'll do a whole lot of live stuff surrounding all the utilities and the services and stuff. And then we'll probably finish this whole episode off with one more time lapse that just does some detailing, some fun stuff, and then we'll leave you some cinematics and whatnot. I don't want to do an overview of Arrowhead Junction quite yet because, again, Strict Toaster still has an episode to do, and then from there, then we'll go off and we'll do our overviews and stuff. So I'm not going to do all that this episode, but that said, enjoy the rest of the time lapse, and I'll be back in a second. Alright, well, as you can see, crime is running rampant in the streets of Arrowhead Village at the moment. I would imagine, among other things, because of all this expansion here. I mean, obviously, we have quite a bit of demand for industry or offices, and our commercial demand is pretty high as well. So let's get to fixing some of this stuff to balance all of this out, because obviously we can't even really fully fill out all these neighborhoods until we get some tweaks in here that will fix everything. So the first thing that we should do, obviously, is add some more police coverage. So let's take a look at our crime map real quick. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, so our jail's capacity is a bit low, which is actually really interesting to me. Whoa, hang on a minute. That's kind of weird, actually. So we have 140 criminals detained, but for some reason our jail capacity seems to be fine. So I don't really know why this is so low. I think the problem, I think that this is representing how many criminals are at large versus how many are actually in the prison. And I think that this detained number is just the criminals that have been detained and put into the prison. So our prison capacity is fine, but I'm pretty sure that the real problem is we don't have enough squad cars to detain them. I think that is what's going on here, if I had to guess. So let's see if we can tweak that a little bit. Now we have a singular police office over here. I don't think I doubled down on this one, but I do want to do that just because, like I think I said earlier, in a town like this, I wouldn't imagine there to be much more than maybe like a couple police stations. We have one over here already. We have one up here, which is just for the kind of the upper warehouse district over here on this side. But we already have 3 in this town, so I might add one more over here by the apartments. But I do want to only add one more. So I think that's where doubling down does help quite a bit. So I'm going to add, I think, 2 more here, which should help with our problem. And then I'm not going to do anything more to the existing ones for now. Let's go over here and add 1 or 2 more over on this side before we do anything else. So I would imagine that this is a pretty good spot for a police station, just because it's like right across from the apartments, near the downtown kind of area. So sort of makes sense. Also up here by this little plaza we've got going on that Sir Toaster kind of expanded on. So we got this gorgeous looking McDonald's. I know that he mentioned this in his episode, but I seriously love how we've got this it's like asphalt stuff going on in the parking lot. That's not very common for most assets, so totally a fan of that. That's super awesome. Now we got this area over here pretty much wrapped up. I don't think we should add anything over on this side. Let's do it over here, like I was saying earlier. In fact, I kind of like this corner as a location, just because it's kind of like on the outskirts, and it's not really like invading on the neighborhood too much either. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Let me remove the zoning around here, and we can fit one in this way. I think a similar police station to our previous one would be good. In fact, I wonder if we could actually copy some of these props. I kind of want to just like literally use this exact same police station so we can have all the props that we already did. Let's do that. That's not a bad idea. Let me grab our marquee tool. So we should be able to grab pretty much everything. I don't want to grab nodes, so we don't want to get roads in here. I think segments, I actually have no idea what that is. I guess we'll find out here in a minute. But I do want to get pretty much everything. We're not going to get the concrete, but we can always do that later. So let's just go ahead and Control C, and I think it'll actually even copy the 3 or so police stations we already have plopped down. So that's also pretty convenient. Now let's go ahead and rotate this. I think maybe this side would kind of make sense, but I almost like this. Well, no, it should be on the main road. So let's put it over here, right on the corner like that. And I'll try to get this as straight as possible. Might have to adjust those fences on the left there. They're not really straight, but everything else looks pretty good. So I think I'll put this down just like this. Very nice. Awesome example of how great this tool is if you use it properly. So we got that. I think I'm going to redo these fences. They're kind of off. So let's go ahead and do that. But tweaking is no problem. Pretty easy to do that. So no worries there. Let's grab our fence here and our search tool. There we are. Whoops. I'll do this. Make that nice and straight there. And I think I'm also going to just fence around this corner. Now, for some reason, I have the error checking on. Let's turn that off. So just go around this corner real quick. Something like this. And, oh, you know what? Actually, I want to leave that open because we got to have people driving in this way. So let's just leave this open how it was. But that's pretty good. And then we can, of course, add some concrete. And I just did a 90-degree shift, so we can still use the same angles that the surface painter uses to create this little backlot here. Now, it looks like we're a bit off. Yeah, we are a bit off. So what I'm going to do to fix this is I'm just going to grab... actually, I wonder if I can just search it. Concrete? No. Oh, it's not a prop, that's why. Never mind. Well, it's at the back here, so no big deal. We'll just... head over here. Much better. Use some of these concrete things like so, and perfect. All right, so there's our police station. That wasn't too hard, and I think that's gonna already help quite a bit with crime. Let me see if that. Yeah, okay. So the bar is returning. It really is weird to me that this bar would be affected, though. I would think that the crime rate would go up and that the jail capacity would just be maxed out since we have obviously enough capacity. So I don't really know. Whatever, not a big deal. Hopefully this guy gets detained pretty soon, considering it's right here. But awesome. And I can also rezone some of the stuff that we deleted. I think in particular I'll just hit. I'll leave a bit of space. I'll do one building right here, but I think that's pretty good. And I might even try and fit something over here just to kind of balance that out. But let's take a look at fire. I think that's going to be another big problem because we don't have any fire stations all over this way. So if we go to our fire coverage, well, you know, it's actually pretty good. I think the hazard is mostly for the trees and for a lot of this stuff is a fire hazard, even though I have a station right here. I don't really know why the coverage isn't good. I think that what actually happened is these are moved with Move It to be off of the main road that they're placed on, so they don't register properly about their fire hazard, but I'm not really worried about that. It's not a big deal. Now over here the coverage isn't amazing. I have a station here, so I don't really know why it's not awesome, but we could always double if we need to. I think for now we're all right. But over here, I'm going to put some in proximity just so we can have better coverage in these neighborhoods. So we added this police station here. I don't know if we can fit a fire station on the same block. I don't really know if I want to try and fit a fire station on the same block. So maybe instead we do that somewhere else. I kind of like this corner over here, and there's nothing growing in. Maybe we'll do it here. Let's just dezone this real quick. Oops, that's the wrong button. All right, so yeah, this is a pretty good spot for it, I think. Oops, we got some trees growing on the street apparently. It's not supposed to happen. Let's go ahead and. Oops, why isn't this growing? Oh, that's weird. The tree brush isn't working. I wonder if that was like an info panel thing. Whoa, that's not supposed to happen. Oh, I see. We're in, we got this thing enabled still. Okay. So we'll just get rid of these trees that are growing on the street. I think I tried my best to remove the ones that were going to be in the way when I built these roads, but I think I missed a few here and there. Not a big deal, though. Anyway, let's get this fire station going. So, have I used this one yet? I don't think so. This is a nice looking fire station. I think this is new. I think Strict Toaster must have added this one recently, unless I'm mistaken, because we've used this one for sure. Or was it this one? We used one of these two. Haven't used this one yet because it's got all the stupid props that look terrible. So let's use this one. This is great. I'm gonna put this one. I think on the main road makes a little more sense. So we'll do that. Now I am gonna back this up just a little bit so we're not encroaching too much on the fire station area. Got a fire truck. Wow, this is a good looking asset. Awesome. So I think maybe we can have some fire trucks parked out back. I want this to feel like it's a bit of a bigger station because I am going to double up on it. So let's make it look as if it is a little bit larger than it actually is. We'll add some parking in the back and, you know, all that good stuff. Yeah, I kind of like that actually. Let's bring it in just a little bit so we got room here to kind of maneuver. But I think that that looks nice. Let me actually shift it so it's not you know, this thing isn't there. Let's just get it right up on the edge so it kind of fits with the alignment of the buildings. But I kind of like that. I think I will do that. Perfect. Okay, so we got that. Let me see if I can get the sun in an angle where you can... Oh, I guess you can't really do that. It's always going to be covered unless you're like right there. But I think it looks nice and it kind of fits in. So we got another garage over on this side. Now let's have some fire trucks parked outside. So let's see. Maybe have it out over here, parked on the side, maybe facing outwards. Yeah, a little bush or two. I kind of like that too. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. So we got that going on, and then I wonder if we should have like some planters on the corner or something. I don't really know. You wouldn't really want to block the back end of this fire station. I know that. Maybe some road lines coming out. I don't really know how we should go about this. Let's just first hit this area because we know what we're gonna do here. Just some. Ooh, we got curbs now. Wow, we got a ton of new assets. All right, well, definitely gonna have like a dumpster back here. Probably just sitting up against this thing. Maybe we'll have a bigger dumpster. This is kind of like a rubble thing, but it kind of fits with it, I think. Have a bigger one out over here. I'm gonna actually use our search tool here and look for actually I want trash first because I have a good one that I want for this. This one, I have a little bit of garbage sitting around. But then we also want pile. I don't know if they'd have pallets outside of a fire station. That wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. But I like this rubble pile. It's just like, well, I don't know if that really fits here. Actually, yeah, it doesn't really fit too well. That's okay, though. All right, it looks good. I like that. We got some parking out back. We got the truck being washed over here on this side, and we got all that stuff. That's kind of a nice little fire station for our corner here. And I think now we can check and see how our fire coverage is, but I think we actually really did improve that. Looks like we did. It's hard to read this thing as the hazard because there's so much stuff that we just kind of ignored in certain areas, like these little areas, and especially this because of all the messed up stuff. But I think just for the sake of boosting the values of all these buildings, so that they make sure that they all upgrade and everything, I'm just gonna double up on this maybe one more time. I think one more should be good for now. We'll see if we need more than that, but that looks pretty good. So awesome, perfect. Maybe even some foliage outside of this just to kind of make it look nicer. I'm gonna go back probably off camera and cover up all of this weird looking foliage that grows in all the default stuff on the trees with you know, some better looking trees. Alright, so I spent a little bit of time balancing out our RCI. You can see we're slowly making our way back to being at a normal level. Of course it takes a while. Even I've left the game running for a while, but it just takes a little while for all of these people to find their way to their new jobs and all that stuff, so we'll give it some time. But I also went and I balanced out our education, so we're back on track. Our elementary school and our high school capacities are at a reasonable level. So all these people that are living out here that you can see, they don't really have the best education, but they do have the reach and the means to go to school now. So again, over time, it should adjust and fix itself, and that should hopefully contribute to eventually having all of this stuff level up, because we want to have it just like we have over here, you know, full-size buildings and all that good stuff. But now the fun part, we get to go ahead and finally implement this bus system infrastructure. So the first step in doing this obviously is going to be to go over here and plop down a bus depot. I think we only have this one, just the default one, which is fine. So now while we're not going to have, oh wow, that really takes a toll on the frame rate there, but while I'm not going to have any of the primary bus routes start where the bus depot is, I want to have them start over here by our train station. I still want to have the bus depot kind of out of the way, so I think a good spot for this would be, you know, maybe over here actually. So I didn't really talk about this, but I built this lot out here across from the Walmart. I noticed this a lot where you've got areas that are like right alongside like a main avenue like this, and what'll happen is they'll still be sort of zoned by the city as commercial, so it's big enough and it's kind of in a prime location, so it's going to be dedicated to, you know, some sort of commercial lots. So in the future, some companies could buy out these lots, or maybe have bought out and haven't built yet, and we'll start building more commercial over here. So with that in mind, maybe we can have part of this lot be a sort of, I guess, a city-owned portion, and that would be where the bus depot is. In fact, maybe even across the street from the lot. I think this is actually a better spot for it, maybe just right over here, kind of across the street near where these neighborhoods are sort of starting to form. So maybe just this area right here would make sense. Now, obviously, pretty ripped up ground because I went in with this surface painter, so let's go ahead and tweak that real quick. Bring back our concrete. Not super hard to do that, and I'll just bring it back to about here. Now, I actually kind of like the look we were getting with all of this like ripped up stuff, so I'm gonna throw in just a little bit of like ripped up stuff here and there. I don't think I'm really gonna do much. Let's see, maybe just bring this concrete back on this side as well, and onto the back side. But I kind of like that ripped up look for the concrete, and even over here, maybe we have like the concrete start to come out this way, as if it used to go to about, let's go one more out, so to about here. And then what we can do with that is we can just bring back this ripped up look right up through here, definitely back here, kind of mess up some of the edges where maybe it used to be connected. I'm going to bring this back though. I want to have it somewhat connected, and then we can use our decals to blend all this together. Even these mud decals, which look amazing, I said this earlier, these would fit quite nicely back here, I think. So I'm gonna do that in particular, I think right here coming out of our little warehouse. I'll throw in some stuff. I don't want these big ones, I want the small one, I think, for a lot of this. So I'll keep it kind of moving in the same general direction. I know this one was faced the other direction, but that's okay. Same thing over here, just some ripped up concrete, and I'll do that over here as well, so you can see where, you know, the dirt kind of blends it in, something like that. And then see if I can grab that that ripped up concrete look as well. A little bit of cracking going on in the concrete, but I definitely want this stain looks really good too. I want to use this one at least once. I definitely want this ripped up concrete coming straight up against the right up against the road there. I think that looks pretty nice. So, you know, we got something pretty simple here. That's all I really wanted to do, is just have a nice maybe not so nice bus depot over here to manage all of our buses, and maybe we can have some details over here. I'm gonna do that later. I don't really want to go full in depth on this because I think I'm gonna tweak this whole area a lot more as we go into the final time lapse and detail some stuff, so I'll leave that for later. But let's get into the bus route planning. So let's grab our buses here. Now, I don't think we have a single bus route yet, so what I'm thinking about just this particular setup is we wouldn't really need to have a whole lot of bus routes that go all around the neighborhoods and stuff. I think that this is a small enough town that you really wouldn't have bus service going right into the neighborhoods, but I do think it makes sense to have bus service from Arrowhead Village to the refinery, and the village to Lone, and the village to Zamora and Zamora Flats and all that stuff, and maybe even like some connections from like Lone to Zamora, but we'll see about that. So I think that putting them on this street would be pretty unwise because you can see this is definitely the most crowded street. This one, and even this one more in particular, because this whole intersection is pretty busy. It's actually still pretty free-flowing whenever you see it all sped up. I mean, cars can definitely move pretty easily through here. It's about as busy as you'd expect it to be, so no problems there, but I definitely don't want to be putting any bus stops right there. So I'm kind of thinking that back here might be a better spot. This is kind of a neighborhood, so that to me doesn't seem like the best place for it. Maybe this street. Oh, I forgot about the street. Yeah, this is actually totally fine. So we'll just have the buses run through this street then. I think the main line should start here. And what I want to do is I want to have one main loop that goes from Arrowhead Village, literally just one stop right here. You're going to go all the way down to Zamora. And I think, haven't really thought this part out yet. I don't really know where the best place to connect it is. Maybe somewhere downtown, you know, by the gas station or something, or maybe even over by the high school. I don't really think, ooh, these are all full. I should probably empty those out. But yeah, I think over here is the best spot for sure. This is much closer to, you know, all the nicer parts of town and our high school over here and all that stuff. So maybe we could do the stop. I kind of like right here, you know, like right in the middle of town, having a stop there. So we'll have it come in here, and then I'm just gonna literally have it just hit that spot and then turn around and go back to the next spot. This is like the main loop that literally only hits like one stop in each area. Actually, no, maybe because it's I think you wouldn't really drive all the way down here for one stop. So maybe it's like here and there's a little loop around this way or something. So let's have it then go down. Let's see. Yeah, it could go. Oh yeah, I could go in here and then come down this street. This is kind of like a main road, so maybe have a stop outside of the apartment complexes over here, and then have a stop right outside this gas station. I kind of even like it being on this little corner here. That's kind of a cool spot for it. So we'll have it hit there, and then we'll go down to the main town of Zamora and have a stop outside the Arby's over here and the Chipotle. Pretty good location, I would say. And then, you know, maybe one more. Let's see if I get back on the highway again. They're gonna loop around this way, so I don't really want to go in here, so that's fine. Yeah, because they'll come out this way. They will take a left over here and then go across the street, go down this way and back on the highway. So we're good for Zamora. Now let's go ahead and, yeah, you know, I think instead of doing a three-way loop like this, well, actually, no, we should have it down and back so you can easily get back to Arrowhead Village. That makes more sense. So bring it back into Arrowhead Village again. I don't really want to have any stops on the main road just for fear of, well, you know, they do make a little cut in so you don't block any traffic. That's kind of nice. Maybe we'll just have a stop immediately in here. Yeah, just to yeah, you know, that's actually fine. It keeps the traffic out of the stopping zone, so it shouldn't be too bad. So one stop there. Maybe we cut in to the town over here and we have a stop outside the hospital. That makes a lot of sense. Let's do that. So a nice stop outside the hospital there. That's good for that. And then anything else that I want to hit in here? I mean, we want to go over this way. But I think that I'm going to have a bus transfer for that. I want to have a separate route for that. So let's just bring this back around again then. Maybe a stop outside the shopping center would be nice. Everyone's in the left lane anyway, so it's not going to really affect things too much. We'll have a stop right there. And then we'll come back in again and complete the line. So this is going to be the Arrowhead Village. Actually, yeah, okay, Arrowhead Village to... Can I do a slash? Oh, I can. To Zamora. Perfect. There we go. There's our Arrowhead Village to Zamora. And should we change the color of that route as well while we're at it? I think that might make a little bit of sense. Let's see. Arrowhead Village to Zamora. Yeah, let's make the buses like a dark gray, just to look kind of nice. So there's that. Now from there, let's do the other main routes here. So I think we'll start from this side if you want to go to Lone. So we'll have a new line here. It should hit the same stops or very similar stops on the way back in again. Maybe the way out since it's going this way anyway. So we have it cross the street. Oh yeah, this is a one way, so we can't go that way. We'll have a stop on the interior here. Like there, since this one's a stop over here, we can kind of get a similar location. Definitely stop at the hospital again on the way out. Let's see. And this one just loops around, so let's just bring this all the way down. I think to get to Lone, we're going to be exiting onto... Kind of curious where it's going to take it, actually. I think... Let's see what it does. Oh, wow. So it's going to... Oh, wow. Wait, really? Let me see if I can get a stop in here again. Whoa, it takes me on the highway, and then it goes down. That must be the fastest route. Yeah, because there's no... Yeah, okay. There's no like direct road access through here, which does make sense. I mean, we have a train that does that, so no need to have a direct road access. So bring it all the way down to Lone. Lone just needs like 2 stops probably, maybe one outside the police state. I'll put one down here actually. So that's pretty much it. We'll just have one Lone bus stop in Lone, and then we'll come all the way back down again and reconnect to Arrowhead Village. And we're coming in this way again, so yeah, geez, I probably should have made these at the end of this yeah, you know what, let's remove the last few stops that I made. I think that since this is exiting this way, we should definitely stop at Lone first, just to avoid, you know, unnecessary looping. So we'll go out that way first, and then we'll come in, do a similar thing that we do here already. I don't want to hit the exact same spot because then we have multiple buses kind of lining up, and that does cause traffic. So instead, I think that the stop we had over here, oh, we can't use that one actually. All right, we'll have another one over here then, maybe instead. Well, that actually blocks the entrance to this parking lot. So we'll leave the same spot then. That was fine. That was a good spot. So one back here, and then loop around this way. Definitely hit this hospital over here, and then come around in again this way. I don't want it the same stop again. I don't want to block that either. You know, I think we'll be alright without a stop over here then, just to avoid extra traffic, and then complete the line. So this will be the Arrowhead Village, not Zamora, Lone. There we go. And we'll give this one another gray color. Don't really need to color code it because it kind of works already. So there we go. That's good. So I think from here, it kind of does, now that I look at this more, it does make sense to have a bus route from Zamora to Lone, just because it has like a direct road access. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. This one should be pretty simple. I think I'll start it in Lone, but even at the same bus stop, because there's like nobody here, so no one should complain too much. So bus stop there, come all the way down up here, and I'll try and mimic what we did here earlier. So we're going to come in this way, we're going to, and I can use the same stops in these non-busy areas, so I will do that. So stop there, stop across the street from the apartments over here, stop at this corner over here, and then stop across from the Chipotle, and we'll bring it all the way back to Lone. Sweet. So this will be Zamora, Lone. Go ahead and make that same color. Sweet. And that should do it for all of our main routes. So I think that covers, let me pull this up again so we can see it. So we've got the Arrowhead Village to Lone, we have the Arrowhead Village to Zamora, and we have the Zamora to Lone. So a nice big triangle for all of our connections. That's good. So from there, I do think we need at least one bus route that kind of takes you down to this part of Arrowhead Village. So let's see if we can do that now. Let me grab this bus route thing again. So we'll start it over, I think, back here to prevent any blockage again. If I can even get one to start here. Oh, almost had it. Oh, there it was. There we go. So start it here. Even come back in this way on this avenue. So we'll take it down this way, and then I actually want to even hit down here while we're over here. It just kind of makes sense, I think. So I'll have one stop outside of this sort of area. In fact, I'll even do it over here by the yeah, I'll definitely do it over here next to this little plaza of things, and then we'll head down this way. It's within walking distance of the hospital, so it kind of makes sense anyway. Then we'll come across the street. We will have one stop over here. This is like one of the biggest sources of jobs in this town, is this like big office complex. This one, and of course, you know, Arrowhead Refinery, but this one is really big, so I want to make sure we hit this one for sure. I'm going to bring the stop right in front of this facility. I think this corner would be kind of nice if we can make it work. I think right there might be good. Yeah, it won't even make a little cut in because it's like a single, very narrow road. So bring it into here, and then just one stop's fine, I think, for that. And then we'll come back out again and hop on the main road, and then maybe a stop in front of in front of this dealership, maybe. Yeah, that's a good spot, because I don't want to go right in front of the Walmart, so that's pretty good. So we'll head in there, and then maybe have a route that goes down right in front of this apartment complex over here. You know, one more in front of this apartment complex over here. And then now we can cut into this avenue that connects over to this one again, and this goes in front of the Best Western, so that's pretty good as well. We'll stop right across the street from it right there. Little commercial building there as well, kind of cool. And then we have a few like just random commercial buildings through here. I don't know if I maybe stop in front of them, because then we don't have to go in front of the neighborhoods, so that's pretty good there. And then I could probably even afford one more just on this street, just because we don't have to go, you know, right in front of everything else on the main road. And then connect back again, and this will be the inner, let's call this the inner Arrowhead Village. Actually, we'll call this Arrowhead Village Loop, and this loop is going this way, so that would be counterclockwise, so I'll say CC. And then what I do want to do, I think it makes a lot of sense to also have a clockwise loop, so we'll also make a clockwise loop that goes the opposite direction, and I'll put that one on this side just for consistency's sake. So let's see, same stops, opposite direction. So now we want to go this way, and we want to have a stop here, another stop here, another stop across the street from the Best, or actually in front of the Best Western, so right there, kind of a nice place for that. Have one next to these apartments, next to these apartments. Did I block anything here? I mean, I kind of blocked the entrance to, yeah, I kind of blocked the entrance there. Let's put it over here, across the street from the McDonald's. All right. Then we'll head in, and we'll have a stop over on this side of the parking lot. That's fine. And then bring it in here. The next place is this little complex down here. And then where do we go from here? Oh, geez. I think it was, oh, we came straight in. Hang on a minute. Now to stop. Oh yeah, we stopped out here, didn't we? So, yeah, we can't really stop here cleanly. We can use the same stop again though, because I'm only using it one other time, and it does kind of make sense to have a stop here to transfer anyway. So, there we go. This will be the AV loop clockwise. Maybe CC should be CCW actually, but we'll get that in a minute here. Something like that. Oops, I didn't even name it. So Arrowhead Valley loop clockwise. Perfect. So let me read another one real quick, but I think that should be it for our bus routes. Again, want to keep it pretty simple just because I don't really think we need to have a whole bunch of buses. It's not like a big city. So you wouldn't have an insane number of bus routes, just like a few. But I think that pretty much covers all the bus routes for Arrowhead Village. Let me just take a look at our map now and see. But so we got the nice loop that this pretty much covers everything, all the commercial, you know, because this is all just neighborhoods back here. But we got the commercial stuff in here, we got the offices, and of course we got this over here. Now I don't have a bus route to the refinery. That is one thing I didn't really consider. I think we should probably have one route that does that, and we'll have it transfer from the main station. So we have 2 and 2 here. I'll just put one more on the right hand side. This is going to be a really simple route. I don't want it to stop anywhere. It should be very utilitarian. Just come straight in. It's actually a nice little loop here that it makes already. So we'll just have the stop be right outside the factory and then go straight back over here like that. Perfect. And this will be Arrowhead Village to the Arrowhead Refinery. You can't even, oh, did I max out on? I did. Let's just say AVAR. That makes sense. Sweet. And this can be another dark color here. There we go. Oops, didn't even name it. I was ready to enter there. Okay, sweet. So that's it. There we go. All of the bus routes are done, and I think that pretty much does it for all the transportation stuff. So now I want to jump into a time lapse and just work on some detailing and wrapping up of a lot of things that I wanted to do here before I hand it off to Strict Toaster, namely getting some leisure in over here and detailing some stuff and really leveling all of these buildings and making them all look like this. So let's go ahead and do that now, and I'll talk to you guys again in just a minute. All right, so that's it from me for this episode, and for that matter, the rest of the series. So I hope y'all enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed contributing to this project with, of course, Fresh Popcorn and Strict Toaster. Be sure to be checking Strict Toaster's channel next Friday for the last episode that he'll be uploading, and then, of course, also watch on his channel and my channel for all the overview stuff and the final videos of Arrowhead Village. But the great thing about this is that while we were sort of shooting for this more empty map kind of feel, we wanted to have a very, very rural and remote location sort of feel going on for Arrowhead Village. We will be uploading this to the workshop, so if any of you guys want to go in and try and use this as like a starting point for your own city, or just even download it and look around and see all the cool stuff we did, feel free to do that as well. That'll be going up after all the overview stuff is already uploaded. But with all that said, again, I hope you all enjoyed, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.